Oh, now you're recording again. Patty prompted just.
And then Jeff wants to get back in. Yeah, my I don't know what the hell happened to my computer pisses me off on a regular basis.
No worries. Here's the chat. So I just sent an email, but I dropped a link in the chat too, since I can't share the screen. And then women's list: Farley, Mia, Maria, Aggie, Becca, Emma.
Yep.
Which leaves the only women on the Devo team as Izzy Sarasoli, who likely was not interested this past season. So unless something has changed there, and we can rope her back in. All right, and then back up to the men. Jeff, I'll recap for you since you missed it. Same World Cup team: Jeff, Sal, Charlie, Finn, Jed, Stefan, Sam. And then the national team, fairly extensive, although we know historically a lot of the folks end up on the Masters team, like the Steve Weglars of the world. They take a Masters team spot. So I have that list right now as Jack Rosenthal, Theo Chan, Matt Graves, Wyatt Graves, Sean O'Neill, Jacob Carter-Gibbs, Larry Bosch, Nate Fogel, Norm, Aaron, Jason, Joel Nylander, Devin Wright, Steve Weglars, and Owen Wood.
Yeah.
And then the men on the the men on the Devo team: Baron Fleming, who, for those of you who don't remember him, joined us at Eldora Nationals with his father Brian, and then Nathan, and then Masters women: Tabby and Chris. Men: Dan, Jeff, oops, spelled his name wrong, Jeff Grady, Mark Haberly, Keith Raddick, Brian Fleming, Josh Poper, and Pete Jensen. And then I had Sam Bass and Matt Tomasco on there, because love to keep them in the loop. And obviously Ken, Jeff, whatever you feel appropriate for keeping them involved and excited about the org, which is why their names are on there to discuss. All right, now that I'm done talking at y'all.
And Sarah, this was, is this the same as the list from last year? Since we don't have updated points, I'm assuming we don't have updated points.
It is,
No.
except for folks who aged out of the Devo team.
Okay.
That would be Theo Chan.
Okay.
End of list.
That would be Theo Chan. Got it.
Sorry, I started that like I was going to say more names.
That's fine. Okay.
And yep.
I mean, I'm fine with that list as it stands, unless there's someone that, I mean, the only person. Where is oh, Sam Garber is on the World Cup team. Okay, cool. Yep, I'm good with that list as it stands. That's the only person that I really know their skiing quality and if it improved or decreased this year based on races and whatnot. So
Yeah, and Jed, obviously. Jed was not a World Cup nomination last year.
Mhm.
He asked the board, but so I, at my discretion, put him on the World Cup nomination list for next season based on his skiing this year. So
okay. Yeah, I mean, if we have consensus with it, then I think moving forward, Keith, as the coach, how do you feel about this list?
I think it's a solid list. What's really nice, everyone aware of how Jed did at World Cup?
yeah.
Okay, just checking.
Sarah?
Yes, Jed.
I'm sorry, I need to review this list again.
It's It's
Yeah,
yeah.
no, I'm reviewing it now.
Cool.
I would also add to this list, either to the national or the World Cup team, the two French ladies.
Oh, thank you.
Oh,
American.
yes.
So
Yes.
we need to add them to that list as well.
Yeah,
Because
let
they are
me.
planning to race. next
Allie
year.
and Elizabeth.
Yeah, I want to get their last name spelling right. I'll grab it from my email.
Yes.
Okay, you have it, Sarah?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me know if not, because I can ask Izzy for hers at least.
Nope, I've got their passports and everything, so I can grab it.
Oh, yikes. Cool.
I don't mess around, Jeff. All right, so it's going to be long last names. Jesus.
They're French.
Yeah, I see that. They each have like 10 names. I wonder if they use their full name for their FIS license.
Yes, they did.
Wow.
They have to.
So
It has to
yeah,
match
I would
the
just make sure
passport.
that they are on the list.
Yeah, I just added.
Izzy, I would recommend, based on her performance, at least in the race that I was in and world championships, that she was, up to snuff, and I would recommend her for the World Cup team. I know that she's very young, so she could be Devo, but I think she has the wherewithal and the standing to be on that World Cup team.
Great.
I did not, however, see, I'm forgetting the other lady's name.
Elizabeth.
Maria?
Alyssa.
No,
Oh, Elise.
Elizabeth is the one that I saw and skied with.
So
Maria?
Elise.
Elise.
No,
is the other
Elise.
one.
It's Elise Anna Marie is her
Yes.
middle name.
But that's
She goes by Elise.
not her only names. I just typed it into the doc. It's
So the last name is D. Revo D. Verre. If I got that right. I don't have the first name yet.
but yeah, thank you, Jeff.
Yep.
Two good additions to have in there.
And one thing from Seb, some general feedback is if we can get him responses back a little bit sooner, FIS codes and that type of stuff, it would be much appreciated on his end, because he ended up having to dig up some of that stuff himself.
Yeah.
So if we can endeavor to do a good job next year, I think that will be much appreciated from Seb's side.
That's part of this call.
Cool. He just asked me to share that with you all.
Yeah.
He knows that I'm on the board, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, he sent me an email as such, well, WhatsApp as such as well.
Yep.
I know he stayed in his good graces because I sent him a pair of bindings. So the next item, so it sounds like Sarah, you like that, Sarah Godek, you like that list? You can just use the thumb.
I got a head nod.
Yeah.
Thumbs up.
All right. So we're all in agreement on that one then? Nah, it's okay. You're chewing corn chips or something. Or are they fries?
Anywho.
Whatever they are in Texas.
Chips and queso.
Oh. Okay, so we have about 17,000. There's not 200 in PayPal. There's $2,000 in PayPal.
That's what I thought. Because I just pulled all the email receipts that I get from PayPal. Like I have payments from Sarah for, $300, Jeff, etc. So I'm glad he knows that, and I don't need to forward him all the receipts to track down the money.
Yeah.
Cool.
Hey, Sarah, on those team nominations, I do have to say that I will be declining in preparation of the email. I will be declining a position on the World Cup team.
I figured based on your earlier text, but we can take that up with you later.
Okay. All right, sounds great.
Are you backing out of all or just keeping your options open?
I think I'm going to be backing out of taking a step back. If you guys have races out here, I'll participate. I'll show up. But yeah, I think I'm going to be taking a step backwards. Not a step away, I should say. A step towards some other things.
Step backwards sounds so negative.
Yeah, I'm
There's no
moving
more
on to some other life priorities is the proper way to put that.
Do you
Nice.
see yourself skiing at all?
Oh yeah, I'll still be skiing. I'll still be
Perfect.
around in
Put
Colorado.
a ring on it, Jeff.
Seeing as it's a week old, I'm going to decline that. No, but in general, yeah, I'm going to take a step away from the racing side, have some more fun with some free skiing, and then my dad and I are actually I'm going to be focusing some more on our cabin and spending some quality time with the pops up in Granby and Grand Lake.
We were talking about
Nice.
that 2 weeks ago when it was just your dad and I talking about the cabin and all the fun things y'all have planned.
Yeah. Yeah. Good news is it's going to be awesome. Bad news is it's going to take a lot of time. So that's where I'm going to be putting a lot of my
Time's
time
okay.
in the future.
Hey, keep in mind that the whole Masters category is, it doesn't have to be about racing.
Yeah, no, and that's actually what I was intending is to take a position on the Masters team, depending upon what the contract looks like. I haven't even read the thing, but that I'm not going to be gone forever. I'll still be kicking around, and if you guys come out to Colorado, please let me know.
Right, we know how to reach you.
Good luck.
You can't escape.
2025, ideally, we'll be back.
Cool.
Well, we're scheduled to go to Gore, Gunstock.
That one, Gunstock. Gore is in New York, and we will not be going back there.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. So
that may not
change priorities. Sorry.
Yeah, that's fine. But it's not cold turkey, so that's okay too.
Yeah, I'll probably just reduce it all completely down to Masters. I'll probably be stepping away from the board as well.
Well, that would make sense.
Yeah.
But I know the nice thing about the Masters is if you ever ski with a group of people, that counts.
Yes. When you guys send over the contracts, make sure to include the Masters, and I'll take a look and see if it's right for me.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys. Sarah, I've really pissed Sarah off. Just got this straight up the sky.
Disappeared.
I put it down for a second. I just had to put it down for a second. That's all.
You're good. You're all good.
Yeah,
So here's a
obviously I'm sad.
Now, another question is, what are the positions that are going up for vote this year? Anybody remember?
So it was going to be mine, the Western events coordinator, or the events coordinator for the Western side. For a long time, we only have one events coordinator for the whole US. Only in the last couple of years, we split up East Coast, West Coast, which I think makes some sense. That said, I don't know who is still around in the West Coast, and that's part of why I'm stepping away. There's not people, there's not bodies out here to put on a race, so it makes it challenging. So it'll be mine. Sarah, is yours up as well?
Yeah, so it's myself, Devin, and you, if I remember correctly.
I think we were all in the same cycle.
Yeah, Devin is a little bit complicated because he technically just switched positions after a year, but will with me because we started at the same time and it's just easier. And then Sarah, Keith, and Jason are all on the same cycle. 1 year off us.
Agree, which I think makes sense.
Yep.
And we have 2-year cycles if memory serves.
Yes, correct.
2-year
all around.
terms, I should say.
The other thing we need to talk about is changing the ability to communicate. And which is why we have multiple board positions to be able to spread the information so more than one person can manage the tasks. Because not every team member this past year ended up receiving a nomination.
Yeah, I would like to, in the next conversation with Jason, if he's already started thinking about this with exploring moving away from constant contact to just PayPal for payments, I would like to see if that includes a messaging platform of some variety, because I do think
It does not.
Yeah, so
PayPal, I'm very familiar with PayPal. There is no ability to do that with PayPal. It is just a money transferring company.
We should think about that. I mean, I have used other MarTech stacks. Pardo is super expensive, but HubSpot has a nonprofit version, like a nonprofit pricing stack, because I do think things like team nomination should go out from that centralized place versus somebody's individual inbox. Not only because then everybody can contribute to sending things out, but also because we can track more easily who receives it and when they open it. And if they open it and don't respond for a week, we can just automate sending up a follow-up. So I think that should be part of the discussion.
It needs to be free. We do not have the money.
Well, it won't be free, but it might be less expensive than constant contact.
We don't have the money. Right now, the rate of losses in 5 years, we're bankrupt.
Right, but we still need to do something. Also, Jeff is frozen. Is Jeff frozen for everybody else?
No, he's blinking.
He's blinking.
So,
okay.
Jason Naylor and I sat down and we did a timeline.
I'm just listening.
And in 5 years, we're out of money.
Right, but that's gonna improve if we also don't have a consistent communication platform that we can rely on.
The platform is not the issue. The individuals are the issues. We need to do a better job at communicating. The platform is just a tool that makes it convenient.
Right, but if we have a platform that everybody has access to and is comfortable using,
we now just have to find it. Hold on, I'm gonna text Jason right now. He's been helpful finding stuff like that.
well, that's my entire job, just so you know. I mean, very familiar with the marketing communication platforms. Less so with PayPal, but
That's a bank. That's all that is.
right, but like less so with the integrations for.
No, there is no integration with PayPal. That's
Well,
out Stacy here.
Well, there would be if we are linking to it on our website. It's good for now.
But yeah. Oh.
This is off topic, but before I forget, as long as nobody here has a problem with it, I was going to ask Sam Garber if he wanted to take my spot on the FIS athletes working group. Um,
So I had
nobody-
some nice long chats with Sam.
Yeah.
We had some time together, you know, over in Europe, and he was reluctant but not opposed to taking a board position. I think he has some definite ideas that of things that he thinks may work, may want to try. So I think getting him involved in some respects would be a good offer, at the very least, to offer him a position and to see if he has interest. I know he's going into a job that has a very high hours demand, and he's hesitant to commit to a lot of time on the board. So that is his
Right, which
hesitation.
is right why like a working group with FIS and like more, it's athletes, they don't meet quite as often. I don't know if you ever sat on the working group, Jeff. And like maybe people that are great for him to make connections with, and then it gives him a reason to stay connected to the people on the board to kind of report back. Might be a good offer if you think you'd be interested. It's led by Jazz, and it used to be Beatrice, but I imagine with her retiring, somebody else will fill.
Yeah, we'll see.
Jazz will
Is
find
she-
somebody to fill the spot.
Is she officially retiring?
Yeah, and Maddie Lopez too.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, and a few others, but those
Well,
were the.
I knew Maggie, and I knew there's a lot of people going out this year.
All right, but it doesn't sound like anybody's opposed to me talking to
No.
Sam. Okay,
No,
cool.
I think that would be a very good idea,
Great
and
idea.
selling that to him as a position that's not quite a board member, but still has board involvement will be very good.
Right,
I
and,
think.
like, it's just like less, not like menial than, like, it's less paperwork than a board position, and more like feeling like you're contributing, and like back and forth brainstorming with the other athletes, which I feel like he could be into.
Yep.
Cool.
Well, as hard as we're doing, Canada's worse.
It's not
They're
a
down to
baseline
3.
I like to compare myself to.
No, they're down to 3. So,
So I guess, I mean, I would like to, but I would like to have a few more working meetings, but they don't need to be with the whole group. Like Keith and Jason, if you guys have already started talking between yourselves on PayPal versus other things, maybe we can just set up a meeting for next week where the three of us can get together and just. Oh, you're in Big Sky next week. It won't be next week.
I'm in Big Sky working from 7 in the morning till 9 at night.
Yeah, when do you get back?
I have the night of the 25th. That's it.
Oh shit, I fly to California on the 25th.
Then let's do it the following week.
The first week of May.
Yeah, it's not as convenient, but because I'd like to do, wait, hold on. Because I'd like to do the major board meeting.
Yeah, so we're gonna have to have, you know, in addition to any board meetings we want to have, we're gonna need to have the AGM. You know,
Yeah,
in
so-
the nearish future.
Right, so we can schedule an AGM, but I think we should schedule it 30 days out so we can communicate to people and they can get it on their calendar. I don't think that's something we can say, hey, in 2 weeks.
Correct.
So looking at that more end of May.
The week of the 15th.
Yeah, the following week. I can't do the week of the 22nd, because I'm at Indy all week.
I also cannot do that week. I can do the week of the 15th.
Okay. So maybe the 18th, not put it on a Friday, put it on a Thursday. I'll put that in an email just to ask Jason and Devin to make sure that they can join, but tentative for May 18th at 8 p.m. Eastern.
Yep.
Okay.
And I can actually meet earlier if we wanted to do 8:30 Eastern or something like that too. Just let me know.
8:30
I can make
Eastern
that
is
work.
later.
Sorry, 7:30.
Cool. Sounds
I mean, like
good.
30 minutes or an hour earlier, I can do.
Okay. Sounds good. So then, yeah, Keith, if we could meet or the first week of May, either
Yeah.
the 3rd or the 4th.
Unless we want to do like, cause I could do next week, small, like I don't have time to sit down to do anything long, but if we had, like, usually with Jason, it's more hashing out ideas and seeing what possibilities are out there. But if you want to do something, we could just do a conference call.
I don't want to bother you while you're in Big Sky because that just seems cruel and unusual.
We need to get this stuff done.
I know. So if we meet the
That's-
first week of May and it's less bouncing ideas and more making decisions on a call where we can share our screens and look at pricing, and sign up for accounts and such as needed. I mean, I'm totally fine to schedule something for next week. I just don't want it to get on the calendar and then you realize that something comes up while you're out west.
Actually running the conference.
Right. That seems like bad to double book yourself for.
Oh yeah, and I don't even know what my schedule is yet next week. I just know where I am.
I feel like you're
Oh.
making my points for me.
I know. But what's even better is Jason's coming on now.
Oh, excellent.
Jason, did he
That'd
find the
be
ducks? Oh, he's still connecting his audio.
Oh, Jeff has no idea what's in the box next to me.
No, I have absolutely no idea. It's my retirement gift.
You may not want that.
An actual duck.
Here he
Nice.
is.
Oh my. Oh my.
So
Nobody-
this is for Jason's duck tours.
Yeah, it looks like Sarah needs to be given the duck tours, not Jason. Really, I pissed him off.
Sarah, why do you have a duck?
I have 3 of them. They're just inside until it's a little warmer outside, and then they'll join the rest of the crew out in the coop
Why do you have ducks?
because they lay eggs.
All right.
And also, look at how cute they are.
They're cute now.
They're cute when they're big too.
They're not as cute as my dog. Let's put it that way.
My dog
No,
got sprayed
they're-
by a skunk this morning, so my dog is on a timeout.
Oh. Thanks.
Yeah.
Jason, can you hear us yet? Take that as
How
a
you doing,
solid
Jason?
no.
Thumbs up when you can hear us, Jason.
Jason
no.
looks like he's doing what I did when I got on, trying to
Yep.
figure something out.
He looks grumpy.
We sympathize with you, Jason. Don't worry.
Ken's just over there laughing away.
These yahoos and their technology.
Ken, are you in
I went off
Colorado?
camera while I ate dinner. Sorry about that, but I'm just enjoying the dialogue.
Don't tell me what you had. I know it's better
Now
than whatever
Malvern
I
works.
had.
Ham and beans and cornbread.
Oh, I love that meal. Dang
Hey Jason, can you hear
Jason,
us?
you don't have you have no volume.
We can hear you.
Hey,
Can you hear us?
We hear you
Can
now.
you,
Oh my
can you hear-
God. How are we doing?
Good. How
We're
are you
doing good.
doing?
Oh my God. I just got off the boat.
Where are you? Show me
I'm
the
in the middle-
skyline.
I am down in the middle of Boston by Faneuil Hall.
My favorite part. Post Office Square. So good.
Yep. I'm right down at Rose Wharf.
Oh, perfect. I work one block over from there when I
Oh,
bother to go into the office.
yeah, good call.
Yeah.
We did a sunset sail and went over to the Constitution and came back. It was fun.
That's awesome.
Yes.
So the new job is working out.
I love the new job, but
Excellent.
I'm only like 3 or 4 days in.
Oh, so spirits are still high. Okay.
Honeymoon phase that we call that here.
Maybe by the middle of the summer, I might lose my gonads, but yeah, we'll see what happens.
Excellent.
Yeah, but
Well, I can give you the quick recap, but Keith is also recording, so you can go back and listen.
Oh,
But we quickly went over team nominations. I dropped the link into the chat and I also emailed it out so you can look at the list when you are able to sit down and look at your screen. There are only 4 differences from last year. Moving Jed to the World Cup team, moving Theo to the national team, and then the 2 French women additions.
Okay.
Otherwise, the same nominations as last year.
Yeah.
And then briefly talked about which board positions are up for renomination this year. We're looking to schedule an AGM middle of May, possibly the 18th.
Okay.
To discuss that and other points as we will outline for the AGM. And now just going through a few other topics that don't really fall into categories: PayPal, constant contact. Keith gave us a bunch of updates on what you guys had talked back and forth on. So that's what you just jumped into. Oh, and we also talked about Jeff. Jeff is leaving us, but we're trying not to be too bitter about it.
Where is Jeff going? What are you doing, Jeff?
getting
I'm gonna
married.
go swing a hammer with my dad. Actually,
Wait,
I'm
Keith,
gonna
what'd
swing
you
the hammer.
say?
He's probably gonna
What'd you
sit in the lawn chair and point and say, "Nah, you're doing it wrong. Go do it over there."
I think Sarah Godick likes my answer better.
Getting married.
Little
The,
early.
Did we decide anything on the PayPal constant contact?
That's what we were just discussing. I can get the highlights from you separately, Jason, but I would love to talk to you and Keith just even in a separate meeting to hear what you, or if you want to give us a recap now. I'm not really sure your general vibe for tonight. But on what you're feeling for and what you've researched.
My concern is, I don't know if we've always had, maybe the thing is we've always had trouble with constant contact, and it'd be kind of neat just to have that PayPal linked up very quickly to the website, and we just need to know what the buttons are. We can turn it off, turn it on. Either the owner of the web or the company that runs the website can teach me how to do that, or one of us, or all of us. And it's, I think it'd be very simple, and not so many things go wrong with it. But that's just my view. And, I think it would be a lot simpler.
No, I don't think anybody is disagreeing with that, and certainly not me. I think the link between Constant Contact and PayPal gives us trouble every year when they make an update on it. The only thing that I worry about with cutting out Constant Contact completely, and this is what we were just talking about, is we would need to find another communications platform to send out event emails and newsletters.
We can talk to Chris, who is the guy who runs this website.
Yeah, Chris Ohm, I've met him. He's great. Sorry, keep going.
Talk to Chris about that, and he probably has a very simple solution for that. But I don't know what that platform would be. I think the person to talk to would be Chris. A better platform, I think, is what we need.
Right. So I would love to get, and anybody who is interested, welcome to join some subgroup of Jason, you, Keith, myself, Chris, and whomever to talk through that all on one call together. So we're not relaying information back and forth, and see if we can't make some decisions between now and certainly before the AGM, so we can report out to the group what steps we're taking to solve the problem.
Right. I'm going to
Jason.
walk and talk.
Yeah, Jason, would you be able to reach out to, because you said you've already been talking with Chris?
Yeah, I was going to talk to Chris. The only thing that Chris needed from us was whether we wanted to keep it the same. That's really simple.
Or change it?
Or, whether, we wanted to go to PayPal, and then we just needed to know what exactly we wanted for buttons. So he can set that up insanely quickly.
So would you be able to reach out to Chris before you, me, and Sarah chat and ask him what he might recommend?
For
doesn't mean we have to.
Communication. So do we need the
platform?
Yeah. So there's the communication hooks up with the website, correct?
Yeah.
The platform.
And the only reason I'm thinking of having Chris suggested is it gives us an inkling for one that would be user-friendly with their website platform. And then at least from there, we can figure out if we want to use that or something similar in process.
All right. Let me let me give him a call. Let me give him a call in the next few days here.
Yeah, and Jason, I mean, I'm sure he knows all of it, but I'm happy to write out what the requirements would be. Like, it needs to be GDPR compliant. People need to be able to both subscribe and unsubscribe from mailing lists.
Do you want to send that? Do you want to send that bit to me, or do you want to send it directly to Chris?
No, I'll send it to you so you can have it for your discussion. I mean, it's not a long list of requirements, but in terms of like data privacy for storing people's information, we probably need to be both GDPR compliant, and we have people in California, so they have their own compliance regulations. So in terms of storing their names and email addresses, let alone their payment information. So
well, let me do this real quick. Do we have any other
Hey guys, let me
questions
let me join the meeting in 1 second. I just gotta call my girlfriend and tell her I'm okay.
All right.
very important.
Sarah, Jeff, or Sarah, or Ken, do we have any other thoughts we need to discuss as a big board?
What do we want our timeline to be? I would like to set it now to say we are going to reach out to these mountains by June 1st, by July 1st.
It needs to be done by April 1st.
We need to do thank you for that very helpful date in the past. I'm going for something that
That's
we
the problem.
march towards.
That's not so Sarah, the problem with the timeline that you're suggesting is there is no one at the mountains to discuss this with. They're already gone by then.
Right, but the timeline you're suggesting is not possible. So if we could find a middle ground, that would be more constructive.
How did you get outside?
I think obviously we add in the language that we know that they're not going to get their schedules until September or October in terms of USSA races. I think it's October that calendar comes out. And Ken, please correct me there because that's your area of expertise, but I think it's October. So I would like to reach out to them before that and let them know that we know that, but get the conversation started. So we need to define what that list of mountain is going to be and who's reaching out.
why don't we put together, it's just, none of that's gonna work over the summer. But I know, Stefan Bagnato is really interested in getting involved with some of that stuff. And he has been reaching out to a bunch of different areas. Sarah Godek's already reached out to Gunstock, so that process is continuing. And until we see any real numbers out west, it's hard to even approach any of them. You don't even need to unmute for that one, Jeff. So Jeff, would you be able to reach out in an email to Eldora and add me to it so I can take over the conversation with them for the following year?
Yeah. Are we looking to have nationals next year?
Not the 24, but the 25 year.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll draft an email to Matt Tomasco and I'll copy you and my dad as well. Really, Dad, you're the contact with Matt. You guys have the great relationship. So I'll kind of introduce you, Keith, and let you guys take it from there. But
yeah,
unless Dad, if
unless you want to keep organizing
for a while, if you want to be that contact, it's up to you.
Yeah.
Really, Matt Tomasco is your contact, Dad. So I'll let you manage that however you want.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
So just to clarify what I heard, so you're not going to do nationals next year?
No, Gunstock next year.
Okay, Gunstock next year, and then
Correct.
back west the year after that. Kind of get back in
Yeah.
that. Okay.
Yeah. And what I'm hoping one way or another is I know there's a big conversation I'm about to have in a month with Canada, where they are not able to hold anything. They don't have they've lost most of their infrastructure. It's Renee Luke and 3 other people. That's their whole program at the moment. And they're having some troubles, but that's neither here nor there for this call. Why don't we? Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's anything else for Ken or Jeff. I mean, I didn't want to keep you guys if we don't have anything that needs to include you.
So just kind of on a side note, I'm continuing to get pressure, and Jeff was involved in one of the meetings when we were in Murin. You know, they want US to host events. Everybody's excited. We've got some motivation actually from the French team.
Yeah.
And from the GB team. And, you know, my response was, and we had the Canadian athlete, what was his name, Jeff?
Mick.
Yeah, Mick was there.
Yeah.
And, you know, I told him until we get some traction from our northern friends to help put something together, you know, we really do need 2 cups together, 2 World Cups together to justify the trip over the pond. And I don't see much happening up there. So, you know, my response has been and will continue to be that until we get both a commitment from the organization for a number of athletes, FIS athletes, and we get a commitment from Canada to step up and to help out, that, you know, we're probably, you know, they're not going to see anything in the US for a while. You know, we can't think about trying to do 2 like happened in 2018 in New Hampshire. You know, that's something we just can't pull off with the resources that we have and the number of athletes. And as Jeff alluded to, we're seeing some of the senior athletes starting to retire. So we're starting to see a drop in athletes at the international side as well. Norway, France, and,
Switzerland.
you know, they're holding pretty well. The Swiss team's actually dropping a little bit.
Mhm.
Half.
You know, so they're all dropping down. So kind of an
Yep.
update from my perspective and what I'm seeing going on at FIS.
Yeah, I'd say that the Swiss and the Germans are both dropping down a bit.
Yeah. So, you know, Jeff's given his notice that he's stepping away. My intentions are to stay on for a while to just continue to participate and contribute at the FIS level.
Yep.
You know, you guys might want to be thinking about if you want to put somebody on the committee that follows me. I'm not going to be on forever, but I'm not dropping like right now.
I was gonna say, are you sure you won't be on forever? Because I like that option better.
Well, you know, combination of things. But no, I'm not going to be on forever, to make a long story short. But, you know, I want to do a graceful exit with the FIS group. I am wearing a couple hats there that, you know, I need to let them know they need to be looking at as well. You know, chairman of the TD working group and secretary. And what we learned, a hard lesson from the last meeting is, you know, I wasn't willing to travel and they weren't willing to do Zoom calls. And nobody took minutes. And, you know, even though I told Andrew I wasn't around, so, you know, we have no record of the last meeting, the FIS meeting. And at the FIS level, that's pretty embarrassing. But anyway, so that's kind of my intentions where I'm going to go, but I'll be around to help and I can sure be a resource on the officiating side. But, you know, I was writing some pretty good checks to do that 2 trips a year to go to Europe for all of the accommodations. They are covering a little bit of the airfare, but it's not something I'm going to be able to do long term.
I'm not gonna comment on that because I'll just be in denial. But I think we can all say that we really appreciate everything that you do, and I know we don't say it enough. So I'll say it now and try to say it again at the end of the meeting that very, very grateful for all of the time that you're putting in now and in the past. I mean, really couldn't do it without you. So, do appreciate it.
Yeah.
Well, if I didn't enjoy it, I sure wouldn't be doing it. So, you know,
Well, I hope we can provide some amount of entertainment for you.
you know, we were kind of busy and we did work pretty hard at Murin, but that's not a bad place to go hang out for a week and the views are pretty nice. And
It's a good
you know,
point.
I had a beer buddy over there with me and that was fun. So
Hey, I found Finland's pretty nice.
you what?
I found Finland was pretty nice.
Yeah, probably. I've
Slightly-
not been to Finland, so
Slightly colder.
yeah.
So I was at Levy for interski when they get back. About a week ago. I got back about a week ago. Definitely colder than here.
Considering it's 87 degrees out right now, definitely colder than here.
Yeah. But any other thoughts, questions, information we need to transfer?
I had nothing else.
Nope, just circling back on the events note. Again, started a 23-24 folder in there. So as we do go through outreach, I listed a few mountains, but as we reach out, just progress notes. And like starting to document who the point of contact is. So, you know, we don't get to what's happened in the past. One person works with the mountain. And then 2 or 3 years down the line, we have no idea who that person is. So just making sure to document those too.
And
Yep.
I can say that Ragged is happy to have us midweek. There is possibility, though, to do a weekend race, but it wouldn't be on Yankee.
Okay.
I kind of
Midweek.
just, no,
Yeah.
we could possibly do a weekend race, but it wouldn't be on their homologated hill space. It would be a fun race on Village Green. We could potentially do this. I'm just putting this out there because we need to get some exposure, and like that space on Village Green is right at the front of the mountain, like, and we could run dual gates with a jump. There would probably be no wrap, no skate,
Are
but it would
they,
be something.
do you think it's a good option for like a training camp? Like
Yeah,
running
absolutely.
clinics in the morning for the public, getting the demos there, and then setting fun gates in the afternoon with Keith giving comments type of thing?
It's that, I mean, we could discuss that with them, but anything that was like training on Yankee would have to be midweek.
Right, but I'm not saying on Yankee, I'm saying on any other
On-
trail, just like general clinics in the morning, can be on any trail, free ski,
Yeah.
real
So
style.
So I mean, like, so Village Green is super wide. I don't know if you remember it, Sarah, but
Yeah.
I do.
So essentially they don't have to shut down a trail. They basically just give you half the trail, and then they like
Love it.
kind of just hope that no one flies into the other side of the trail where the general public is going down. And they have plenty of like fun like t-shirt races, or they have like their ski club like fun races there too. But again, it's not on a homologated hill, but it would be at least exposure, and it would be something that we could hopefully work with them with, and not use Flying Yankee for a full length race. So
Yeah, so
that's
Awesome.
That's
So,
an
we
idea.
got to do something.
we got to
Yeah.
do something. Yeah.
Awesome.
And Ragged is open to us using the hill space during the week if we wanted to set something up for training or camps or something like that. Russ even said that they'd be willing to make a jump for us too, so we could practice that. But again, has to be midweek.
Understand.
Perfect.
Right.
And
Well,
then
we have the AGM set. We know that Sarah, Jason, and myself will get on a couple calls to get some of the tech worked out.
Yep.
We've got some other details worked out.
Yeah, Sarah, if you could just
I
send
think
me that information and then I'll make a call.
Yeah, sounds good. Yeah. I'll get you an email. And Jason, are you free on the 18th?
I gotta check that.
Okay.
What day is that? The 18th?
It's a Thursday.
It's a Thursday.
It's a Thursday?
Of May. Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, I gotta check.
It's okay. I have to drop an email to Devin to ask him, so you can just respond back to that same email.
Okay, cool. All right, I'm trying to navigate the trains here.
Commuter rail or the T?
I'm on the T.
You're on the T.
I'm impressed you have cell service. All right. Other than that, I think we're good.
Okay.
Sorry I was late.
It's all good. We're glad you could join us. Thank you.
All right, yeah, send me information and then the 18th I'll check.
Cool. Anything else from the rest of the group?
Nope, I think we're good.
I don't think so.
All right, be on the look for a few emails from me about dates. I will also resend the teams list so we can get final confirmation from Devin too. And then we can, once we get technology sorted out, we'll move forward with that.
All right.
All right. Thanks, everyone.
Perfect.
Cool.
All
Good
right.
to see everyone.
Have a great night, you
Yeah.
guys.
All right. Thanks,
Thanks,
everybody.
everybody.
All right.
Talk to everybody on the 18th, if not sooner. Yeah. Good night, everybody.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Right.
Keith,
Hey.
I was
Wait,
hoping you
hold on.
would stay on. You could probably turn off the recording.